we are back at it again with another car review. This time we have Powerbomb. This is another one of those ones that was a terrible toy to get because, like, it was never in the movies. Who wants an accelerated car that wasn't even in the movies? However, there is almost no car in the game with as much nitrox power, just sheer nitrox power, as Powerbomb. So if you want a car that's great for nitrox, it's this, Reverb, or I think Baseline is the next. Maybe Tech Tracks. There's a few really good ones for nitrox, and this is definitely one of them. This handles amazingly. I genuinely believe this is on par with, like, you know, Spec-Type and Drift Tech for cars I've tested thus far. It is just sticking to the road. There is no self-correction. The nitrox is amazing. You get an extra 300 or 400 or something of it. It is just flying along this track. It feels fast. It kind of is fast, especially with the nitrox to back it up. You got to watch out up here for this bump. There it is. Alright, that was unfortunate. We hit that stupid bump. I hate that bump now. This update has really damaged this track just by putting that in the way. But let's see if we can't just blast this machine through this track like the little monstrosity that it is. It is actually insane how fast this car is. I blitzed that first one. I think we can outrun the second. It's a risk because you've got to obviously gain speed to do so. It just has so much grip. I'm not swaying all over the place in the outside section, which is just really good. I do like that the Maniacs cars have got that little extra nitrox. There we go. We beat that second one. We just didn't even worry about it because we had so much speed, which is fantastic. Honestly, it's just amazing. This car is just so grippy and fast. Oh, without the nitrox and going uphill, it isn't ideal, but it has so much nitrox and so much power with the nitrox that it's worth it. Let's go. Alright, we have a fair bit of running room down here. Let's get that thing back to red line. Forgot about Discord. Just a little bit of the reverse nitrox there. We have a door here, we don't have a door over there. This is probably the right door. It is probably not the right door in hindsight, but we're taking it anyway. This is the fast door. Now, this one is the risky one, because it does have an open loop, so it's a loop with one side open. However, I feel like of all cars to not care about an open loop, this is the baby to do it. We do have that metal armor as well for the wind section at the end, so hopefully we have enough nitrox because the nitrox of this is insane, but if not, we do have that as a little added bonus. I am genuinely just very happy with this car, which is surprising. The cars that I've been the least interested in, which is Drift Tech, Spec-Type and Powerbomb, have all been the most amazing cars when it comes to actually putting them on the track. We're going to put ourselves on the wall here to not clip this. We're going to have to do it again on the left wall up here. Whoop, we kind of clipped it, but it's alright, we got away with it. Save our nitrox for the end. This is a sick run. This is a near 4-minute run, and it hasn't been perfect, but it has been very, very solid. This is honestly a very good car for this track. It's It's not even an optimized run, it's just a really good one. Under 4.5 minutes is amazing in this update. That's a great start. The next thing you'll look at is our friend Powerbomb here. Obviously didn't really have to do much cornering on that track. Most of the corners are already predetermined for you. So we're going to be learning a lot about this car coming into this track. Well, it's got a little bit of bounce to it. It's not the end of the world though. Didn't want to get into first for whatever reason, but that's fine. We'll see how we go. Obviously, you know, we've tested that, you know, mostly straight line track. This car is nuts, just fantastic. But once we get some corners into it, who knows how we're going to go. Oh, that drift is not nice. Don't put it into a drift, especially if you're not ready for it. But that's fine. It's not really a drift vehicle, so whatever. This thing does have a major flaw, and it is not just that it sucks ass here, it is very stuck. I think. Is it stuck? Hey, it gets back on. Alright, let's try that again with less mistakes, shall we? Yeah, so once it's in a high gear, it doesn't seem to shift down very easily. That's my opinion on it. I would have to obviously do a little more research into that. As far as a grip cut goes, it's great. The moment it breaks into that drift though, we're in trouble. Like, that's not ideal. You don't want a car that you can't put into a drift. Take it easy up here. So yeah, this is not so good on the corners there, because it breaks into a drift and you actually just lose control of the car. It gets too far. If you can keep it out of the drift though, it handles amazing. It's got great grip. You just don't want to oversteer, because then you get issues. This thing's terrible once it hits the drift. It just drastically oversteers. But it's beautiful for grip. If you could just keep it out of that drift, it's so nice. It has amazing handling, it has really nice speed. This is like the non-drift version of Battle Spec, without all the downsides of Battle Spec, which apparently seem to come from being a drift car. It's not the worst thing in the world to recover. With that extensive, like, extra nitrox, it really is just strong at recovering. Like, it's just a beast in a straight line. I'm very, very happy with it thus far. Alright, now for the real challenge. The cliffside. Look, this is a solid car. I'm a big fan of it. But this is a track that kind of asks for a drift car. So having a decidedly non-drift car is obviously a bad thing. We'll see how we go though. How goes the downforce? Amazing. Amazing downforce. Just sticks to the track. No swaying, no swerving, no fighting the loop. Beautiful. Ooh, I got a little bit of a power slide there and that wasn't ideal. But honestly, this thing is just very nice for long corners. But it's pretty bad otherwise. Unfortunately, like, I hit this straight, it'll be fine. Oh, it's just such a smooth landing off that bump. Which, you know, you've seen in other videos, that just throws cars most of the time. I know, we just got to take it easy up here. We don't want to break into a drift because this happens. I'm not a fan of how difficult it is to do that. I actually just want to get this to the drift section, just to see what it does in that sort of situation. See if we can just smoothly... Oh no. I'm God, apparently. We're going to take it easy. Obviously, like, if you were to race this against a Tekka car, the Tekka car would have a lot of advantage on these corners. That wasn't awful. Now do recall that I have reset a couple of times, which seems to drastically increase the chance of a freeze. So there is a good chance that it will. That's not awful. Alright, on a tight drift it's fine, it's just once you hit that mid drift, that's where the problems start. A long drift and a mid drift, this is not your car. Clench protection, please. Gears changing when I accelerate or reverse, please. Or when I accelerate, and less when I reverse. Honestly, this thing doesn't... Gears changing when I change them, please. Look, this thing doesn't need to drift, and that's good. It has amazing grip, it has amazing downforce, it just sticks to the track. It is beautiful. Obviously, tracks where drifting is a thing, like, you don't want to put it in a drift. If you're putting it in drift by accident, you're off the track. So you've got to, like, really learn to feel where that is. So it is a bit of a car with a learning curve. The tight corners, it can do that drift. It doesn't really need to do a proper drift. It can then just do that to get around the corner quickly and then just grip the rest of the way and just take off. The nitrox on this thing is insane. I think the cooldown is like 1 second. Why did that put me in reverse? Hang on. Yeah, it's like 1, 2. It's like a 1 or 2 second nitrox delay. So it's got nitrox almost as good as reverb, but without that 5 second delay. It has the little wind thing, which is better for racing than the jump jets. Jump jets are mostly for skips and failing. This is just an amazing car, and I can barely find a fault in it other than the fact that it has just such drastic oversteer if you do oversteer it. It's crazy that these cars that I hate as models are amazing as in-game cars at the moment.